Hi everyone, welcome to day 3 using the Spellbinders Crafty Advent Calendar. I'm super excited that you're here again today to join me, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. So we're going to look behind flap number 3, and it's that nice rectangular piece there. So I'm going to open the flap and let's see what is on the back side of that flap. So it looks like we have some flowers and maybe some stems. So I'm wondering if that could be a die set. So I remove the extra paper and I pull out the little bag that's inside. And looking at the pieces, we do have some dies. Now, Spellbinders is really good at attaching the packages inside so that they don't come loose too easily. And here I'm going to now open the package so you can see what the different pieces look like. So we have a variety of flower pieces here. We have some petals, we have some stamen, we have the center pieces, the leaves, just a variety of different pieces to put the flowers together. And let's see what I do in making my cover box for today's project. So here I have the top of the box, and I'm just going to show you really quick the items that I'll be using today in my project. So I have my Hero Arts Hot Air Balloon stamp set, and I'm also bringing in the grass stencil. It's a 3-piece stencil set by Recollections. And then the papers that I'll be using to cut out the flowers are from the Floral and Sunshine paper packs from scrapbook.com. And those are the colors that I chose between the two pads. And then for my inks today, I will be using the VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. I will have the Simon Hurley today, so I'll be using Slippery When Wet, Later Gator, and Blue Skies. And so we'll go ahead and we'll get started putting the flowers together. Now there are a lot of pieces, and I did cut these off screen to save time on the video. And what I did was I was trying to figure out how these pieces went together. So I kind of put them together in groupings. So it'll just make it easier for me to put these flowers together as I proceed through the video. So you can see that I'm just showing you the different sections and then the different colors that I used, all the stems, and then I have those pieces there on the left, and those will be used for some individual flowers that you'll see later on. So now I'm just going to start and put the everything together and sit back and relax. All right, so now we have the top of the box, and I'm going to now decorate the top with a outdoor scene with some grass and a sky. Now I will be using the 2 clouds that you see on this stamp set, the sun and one of those birds. Now before I go ahead and put the grass on the box, I'm going to use my mint tape to mark off these sides because I don't want to get any ink, past the score lines. So I'm just making sure that that's covered, and I'll be ready to go with the stencil. So I'm laying the stencil on top, trying to figure out where I want to have that so that I get the grass in place, in the right place. And then I bring in my stencil tool to help hold everything in place. And so now I'm just taking my later gator and I'm going through and just inking the bottom portion of the box top. And it looks a little splotchy. That'll clear up as the ink dries. And I was a little heavy-handed on there, so that really didn't help either. And now I'm going to bring in my stamps, and I'm going to go ahead and get the sky scene set up. So I got my my block there, and I'm just going to now bring in my blue skies, and I'm just going to now start stamping the clouds onto the top of the box. And then I kind of interchange between the large cloud and the small cloud just to give it a little bit more dimension, because all clouds are not the same size. So I finish that up, and then I bring in the sun, and I'm going to use my Slippery One Wet to stamp the sun. And now I'm going to use my VersaFine Nocturne Clear ink to put on those birds. And then once I have that finished, I will take the tape off, and then I'm going to, you'll see that I'll realign it because now I'm going to go back to the later gator, and I'm going to ink blend the sides of the top of the box. And I'm layering that tape on there because I want to make sure I don't get any green on the other parts of the sky or the front of the box where it shouldn't be. So once I get each flap done, I just remove the tape, and then I adhere it to the next side, and I just go ahead and I ink blend until I have all 4 sides done. I did discover that when I was ink blending here that as I mentioned earlier, I was using a bit of a heavy hand, and probably should have went a little bit lighter, but that's okay because it still turned out pretty nice. And then I do the bottom part here, and I don't want to add too much more to the grass. That's why I put that tape there to mask it. Now I'm going to take all the floral pieces that I put together, and I'm going to assemble them on the top of the card. And so I've got the stems, and then I just add the floral pieces to the tops. And you'll see that I will have some pieces left over. I wasn't quite sure when I did die cut these out. I wasn't sure how many I would need. So I wanted to make sure I had maybe more than enough than not enough. So you'll see toward the end that I will have some extra pieces, and I'll just save that for another project. So after I layer the pieces down and glue them down, I do use my stamp block to kind of help, adhere the pieces just to make sure that they are glued onto and stay on the top of the box. So I just go through different parts of the flower and just adding the glue and, bringing in, just layering them up and, putting them just not in any particular order. I do want to make sure that, they are kind of different, that I don't have, 2 of the same flower right next to each other. So that was just planning on my part there. And I continue as I'm kind of, I put the flower petal on top because I want to make sure that I don't, glue it on top of the previous flower that I have next to it. And I just continue through and move on. And I wasn't sure if I was going to add that last flower there, so I decided that I would just add that last green stem there at the end, and that was it for the top. And then those extra pieces that I mentioned that I had left over. So here I'm just going to now score all the sides, and I'm going to use my score tape to place on each of the flaps to fold the box and adhere it and make sure those flaps stay closed. And again, as I mentioned in previous videos, I do use score tape because it is a relatively strong tape, and I'm guaranteed that the flaps will definitely stay closed. You can use whatever you have. You can use wet glue if you want to. If you have score tape, you can use that. If you have the ATG, that'll work as well. I just prefer the score tape because I know that it's strong. So I take the release paper off, and I go ahead and put the flaps, fold the flaps over, and then after I do that, I just make sure that I take my bone folder and I burnish it just to make sure that that the flaps are definitely adhered and will stay down. So I do that through all four sides. And now I bring in the bottom part of my box. Now this pattern paper that I used is from the Cartabella Spring Market paper bundle that I have. And it is double-sided, as you can see. And I do like that I am picking the double-sided just because, you know, when you open up the inside of the box, you will see a different pattern. And that is my finished project for today. And until my next video, friends, I hope your day is a crafty day. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.